So recently I've been asked, what does it take to be a voiceover artist? Because I do voice acting too, along with all the other stuff that I do in audio entertainment. Well, in this video, I'm going to talk about how I got into voiceover. What's going on, folks? Welcome to another Cal-Pin Creations video. I am Jamiel Cal-Pin, and I'm here with another video to help you start making quality audio content, audio entertainment on a budget. And I need you to know that whatever you're making, cost does not have to stop you from creating your next project. And so I'm a voiceover artist or a voice actor. There are a lot of different ways, different titles for that. You can be voiceover artist, you can be a voice actor, you can be a voice talent. There are a lot of different ones, and it varies throughout the industry. How that ties into audio entertainment is that it's super critical for audio entertainment, audio content, whether you are podcasting or even if you're making music, like doing something with your voice, because being a voiceover artist isn't only exclusively about speech or talking. You can do all kinds of different stuff with voiceover. So being a singer, you're still doing voiceover, and voiceover is really just a voice that you hear, but you don't necessarily see who's creating that voice. If you're listening to an audiobook, voiceover. If you're listening to an e-learning course, voiceover. If you're watching a commercial and they're if you're watching one of those pharmaceutical commercials and somebody's reading off all of the side effects and stuff like that, that's a voiceover. And even if you're watching, award shows like the Oscars or Grammys, if you hear somebody announcing that somebody coming out, that's a voiceover. So voiceover artists or voice talents appear in a variety of different places, not only online or in visual media. They can appear in live settings as well. Voiceover is all over the place, and it's so important and critical to audio entertainment. So today, I just wanted to share with you my journey in becoming a voiceover artist. And hopefully there will be some nuggets there that can be beneficial for those who are interested in voiceover or becoming a voice actor. Let's go back. Let's go back in time. I think as a child, I always liked making voices. I liked mimicking cartoons and videos and things like that. And I just like making sounds. I just thought it was fun and entertaining. So whenever I was with my friends, I'd like to make voices while I'm telling stories or exaggerate things or whatever. So that's definitely something that just came naturally, I guess. I was also one of those kids that had imaginary friends. So each one of my imaginary friends had a different voice, because you can't have imaginary friends and they all sound the same. They're different people. They're all different. Like, think of Foster's House of Imaginary Friends. Just because in that show you can see them, but they were all different. You know what I'm saying? They're all different. But anyways, so I would make voices and things like that to entertain myself or to entertain others. From there, I might have been maybe like 10 or 11. My mom, she taught me how to record myself on a stereo speaker, a boombox that we had. And I thought that was the coolest thing. Like, in general, I've always had an affinity towards technology. If somebody had a video camera, I was interested. If somebody had microphones and cables and things like that, I was interested. And I definitely want to credit my mom for introducing me to that. At the time, she was working for Bell Atlantic, and that eventually changed names into Verizon or whatever. There were a couple of times where I went to work with her, and it being a phone company and a telecommunications company, there was all of this technology, all of these cables, all of this stuff, whether it's TV, whether it's microphones, there's phones, there's just all this stuff. And it was just I was just really into it. And so since then, I've always just been interested, whether it's software stuff, hardware stuff, anything that has to do with like creativity and electronics and things like that, I've always been interested in. So she taught me how to record myself on a boombox. You would hit record, on the stereo system, and you would speak into the speakers. And I think particularly the left speaker was the one that was the most sensitive for recording audio. I don't know why I shared that, but anyways, so from there I started recording myself doing my different voices, like my imaginary friends or whatever, and I created a tape for myself, and I still have it to kind of remind me of my youth and to remind me of the creativity and stuff that I enjoy. That was probably one of the first things that kind of helped me put my foot into voice acting, even though I never really realized that making voices or doing voiceover was a real thing. I really didn't. And I loved and I enjoyed cartoons. Like I lived off of Cartoon Network and anything else, any other cartoons, that was my stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I never considered pursuing that as a real thing. But I don't know why. I really don't. But like, I never really considered fully pursuing acting or voice acting as a career or anything like that. Not until later in the story. From there, like my mom introducing me different technology, like recording equipment and video cameras and microphones and stuff like that, I just became more and more interested. And it was really just a hobby. I would do stuff throughout school. I was blessed to meet various friends who were interested in the same things that I was interested in, and we would make projects and stuff together, whether that was music or whether that was short films and things like that, or just telling stories. And from there, like that's how I kind of started developing my skills to do audio entertainment in general. I was continuing to develop those skills, and I was still doing voice acting stuff. I was still acting, but again, I didn't really know it was a real thing. Like I would just do it because it was fun. It was fun to do. From there, I eventually got interested in radio, which again is another cool industry that honestly, because of the internet, is changing dramatically, as I'm sure all of you are aware of. In college, I became an on-air talent or DJ for WMUC, which is the college radio station at the University of Maryland, College Park. I was on the station for about 3 years, I think. During that time, again, I didn't realize that being an on-air talent is very similar to doing voiceover. It's not quite the same, but it's very similar because you're developing some of the same skills. Like you're becoming comfortable using a microphone. You're becoming comfortable with people hearing your voice. You're becoming comfortable with hearing your own voice, you know? And I was doing that, again, not fully being aware that this could turn into something, because I did have an interest in radio broadcasting and media broadcasting and things like that. But during an internship, my dreams were dashed. I can talk about that later in a different video if you guys are interested in that. Leave a comment if you want me to talk about that. From there, people would tell me, you know, that, oh, you have a good voice. You have a really nice voice, you know, which I guess is a good thing, because if I'm on the radio talking to people, I want people to be able to listen to me or want to listen to me. That was the area of first hearing that, oh, you have a good voice, which is, it's a compliment that people get that makes them think about, well, maybe I could do voice acting. You have a really nice voice. You should do radio. You should do this, blah, 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 whatever. But again, I didn't really pay any attention. For me, when I was doing radio and creating other audio entertainment and content and stuff like that, I was just doing it for fun. And I was also doing it, for me, I'm a believer. I was doing it for ministry purposes as well. Like, I want to create this content and I want to share this stuff to help people know about God, you know, and help people in their journeys and stuff like that. So again, I wasn't really thinking about it as a career or as an opportunity to make money. You know, at the end of the day, if you have a career, you're probably making money. In college, I was doing the radio station, and then I was also involved with a ministry, a Christian fraternity called Alpha Nu Omega. And while on campus at the University of Maryland College Park, we would create advertisements and different things like that. And I would lend my voice to doing some of the voiceover work and other things like that. Again, not thinking about, oh, like I'm a voiceover artist. It was like, no, we're going to make this commercial and share it on Facebook so people can come to our events. I wasn't thinking about it. I was just using my voice to serve and to benefit people and to help or whatever. But yeah, it really, that first initial seed of the thought of voiceover being a thing was, again, people giving me compliments and pointing out to me that, oh yeah, you have a nice voice. While I was continuing to like finish up college and stuff like that, I was still pretty much pursuing radio, entertainment and like music. I was still like creating stuff for fun and creating more projects and things like that, and helping other people to create their projects, create their own projects. I did get a gig at an actual radio station, which I was being a board operator. And from there, I met somebody who actually was doing the radio spots for that station. And again, me being a geek for technology and audio and sound and electronics and stuff like that, I get to the radio station. I'm like, oh my God, there's microphones everywhere. Oh, there's an actual studio. This sounds cool when you're in here. All this stuff is amazing. Oh, look at those meters over there. It's like, really, I'm such a geek. I met that person. And again, they had a really nice voice too. And they would, for this particular station, he did like all of the promos, all of the commercials, all the spots, all the stuff. And he had his own studio, and he would go in there and he would produce these spots. And I think this is probably one of the first times I realized that, oh, you can just use your voice to work and make money. That guy had been working there for a while, so I'm pretty sure he was making decent money. And the thing about radio, the radio industry is not that much of a moneymaker, depending on what you're doing. But as a board operator at the time, I was not making that much money. But for me, I was just glad to have a job, and I was learning, and I was open to the opportunity or whatever. But yeah, that was like, I think the first time in real life realizing that, oh, you could use your voice to make money. And I thought this was cool because I was still interested in radio, and I was becoming more comfortable and confident in my abilities to create things and to also use my voice. So while there, I started trying my hand at doing commercials and promos. The talent that was there, he gave me a couple of scripts or copy to read, and I would try to produce my own spots for different things and share it with him, and he'd give me some critiques or whatever. I don't think they ever used any of that stuff, but that was so fun to me because I was like, oh, I have some time at the studio while I was working, or I stayed after, and I would go in there and I would record my little commercials or whatever, and I would send it to the guy, and he would, give me thumbs up, thumbs down, like, keep working at it or whatever, and encouragement. And I was like, this is cool. This is cool. And that really helped me. From there, I eventually left that job for a job that paid more. And I was working at a church, actually. And while I was working at the church, I had the opportunity to actually create promos that were used, which I thought was really, really cool. Again, I continue to get more affirmation about, you have a really nice voice. You have a skill, you have an ability, a talent at doing this. Not only just voice acting or, being a voiceover artist, but the technical skills too. Because the truth is, becoming a voiceover artist, there is some technical skills that are necessary for you to do the work. Again, that was another affirmation, I guess, to let me know. I was like, hey, maybe I should look into this. Maybe I should really kind of consider pursuing this more legitimately. Actually, at that church, there was a guy who was going there who got a voiceover demo because, again, he was told that he had a really nice voice. He had a kind of like a Morgan Freeman kind of voice, which can be beneficial. If you're really good at impersonations or sounding like somebody, that can be really beneficial in the voiceover industry. But he went through a process and got a demo made, and he was sharing it. And again, I thought this was the coolest thing. And, I kind of asking him questions like, well, what'd you do? How'd you go? What was your process to do this and do that and whatever? He kind of gave me some information to go to an introductory seminar. And it's kind of like, what is voiceover? And it was specifically for voice acting or for those interested in voiceover. Now there are tons of opportunities like that, whether online or in person, and you can just look them up. If you're interested in voiceover. And the cool thing about that seminar is they give you all of this information explaining the importance and how useful voiceover and voice acting is, and also all the different ways in industries and methods that voice acting is used. If you hear a voice somewhere, even if you're watching this or whatever, and I say, Alexa, if she responds, that voice came from voiceover artists who produced the building blocks for Amazon to use that voice. And it's the same with Siri, it's the same with Google Assistant, it's the same with all the different things. That's voice acting, that's voiceover. And again, it's everywhere. Like I was saying, so I went into the seminar, learned a lot, definitely learned a lot of information. And because I was doing my own research as well, but this definitely helped and benefited me a lot. And for me, one of the low key things I was geeking out about the technical stuff more than anything. And then also, I guess the acting side too, because I still watch cartoons. I never stopped watching cartoons. I love cartoons. I'm sorry. I just love it. As the seminar went on and they explained the growth and the vastness of the voiceover industry, the reality of actually pursuing it as a career was becoming more tangible. And so during the seminar, they would record you. You would go up and you would record or read a sample spot or commercial or copy that they gave you. And the thing is, they would record it. They would kind of put it together real quick, play it back so you can hear it. And then later, they would email you to let you know their assessment of your voice, which can be a little harsh and critical for some people, but it may feel that way. But the idea is this seminar was hosted by people who were involved in the voiceover industry, and they could tell you if your voice was a good fit for the industry. They would send you an email back, kind of giving you explanation. Here's are good things about your voice, bad things about your voice, yada, yada, whatever. Of course, the seminar was, it's kind of a pitch. to get you to sign up for their classes and things like that. But I got an email back. The guy who hosted the seminar was like, you have a really great voice, and I think you should seriously pursue this. And of course, offering the sign up for the classes and the training and stuff like that. But for me, that was the nail in the coffin, so to speak. They're like, okay, I think I should do this. From there, I got help to sign up for the course because it was fairly expensive. And I didn't just have like thousands of dollars sitting around at that time. I went through the course, went through the training program, was able to develop my first demo. And from there, I've just been pursuing it. And I've done a variety of different stuff. I've voiced for some e-learning courses. I've done audiobooks. I've helped with some animations, promos, and some commercials and different things like that. A lot of the stuff I've done has been more corporate. But yeah, I've done some fun stuff too. There's still a lot more to do, and I'm open to more opportunities and things like that. But that's pretty much how I got to where I am now. And so I hope that story was helpful, but everybody's journey isn't the same. That's just mine. If you are interested in voiceover, I will be creating a video and resources to help those who are interested to, help you get going. Help you to pursue your own interest. I actually created a video on my other channel, my voiceover channel, and I'll probably be consolidating that stuff because they're all intertwined. Voiceover is a part of doing audio entertainment. Be sure to go check that out. Again, thanks again, guys, for watching, and like, share, and subscribe and all that stuff. If you want to keep up and keep learning about audio entertainment and the stuff that I got to share with y'all.